Hey, welcome to part two. I was saying that it took me through a spiritual journey with God. Now, this was something that it came out of the blues. I'm going to use that word. This person who introduced me to this particular assignment, I met him probably just months before then. I did some work with him and he enjoyed it and he really wanted, to upgrade me. I'm going to use that word for now. So he introduced me to this particular assignment and I've applied for one or two things and a lot of times I just do it. If it comes, fine. If it doesn't, fine. And this was the case at the beginning with this. If it comes, fine. If it doesn't, fine. Then it took a complete turn and everything was going smoothly. I was corresponding with people who were right there in the organization and we're having a very jolly good communication and conversation. And the interviews were okay. So my spirit started getting lifted. And I committed it to God and I started a spiritual journey. At that point it was obvious. I had all the verses working for me. Is there anything too hard for me? Ask of me and I'll make the nations your inheritance, the ends of the earth your possession. If ye have faith like a mustard seed, you'll move mountains. There were a lot of verses that were just there working for me. I'll check the Bible, I'll read, and everything would correspond. And it was just beautiful because I was sure. It was 100%. There was nothing that was stopping it. But then somewhere along the line, one of my mothers called for a prayer. And apparently it called for prayer, with one of the men of God who sees your intent and stuff. And I said I wasn't going because I was at a level where I didn't need any interference between what God and I were doing. And I was sure that if I did go there, I don't know this guy from anywhere. I don't know his track record, just because for me, calling yourself a man of God is not enough for me personally to put my whole trust in you. I'm a believer in my direct relationship with God. I strongly believe in that. Even if I was going to go for a prayer in a place, which is outside my local assembly, I'd ask God if I should do it. So my spirit was not in tandem. I just didn't want to. And I told my husband I wasn't going. And he was okay with that. Not completely, but oh well. Along the line, I was practically called and insisted upon to be there. I reluctantly went. And the moment he saw me, his first prophecy was about this assignment. Probably not this assignment really, because he got it completely wrong. It was in another way. And I was looking at my husband and we both knew that was not it. Like I said, I don't know him from anywhere. I didn't test the spirit. So I left, and of course his timeline didn't work out, and I was upset throughout because I didn't want any other person to see it in the spirit. I had to be the only person who would see it in the spirit. So it made me very anxious, and I went back to God and I kept praying. It heightened my anxiety, and even with that, I was 100% sure until that morning. But I was concerned because I was anxious. And usually after God speaks, I'm not anxious. I don't get anxious, but I was. And it was like something had gone wrong somewhere. So, but I kept praying and hoping, knowing fully well that there's one power that is above every other power, and that is God's. And when God writes something down, I'm a strong believer that is the only thing that will come to pass. So, After all the faith, all the belief, everything, it didn't come to pass. Another lesson learned. Listen to my spirit. Family will expect you to do a lot of things. Sometimes not even sitting with you to understand why are you going to do this, or why do you not want to do this. They just want to do it because they have their own idea of what it's supposed to be like. So you got to be careful when you're in a spiritual journey with spiritual beings. So listen, if it's clear, you likely will have to upset some human beings. But if you believe it's the right thing, go ahead and stick